3 adults and 8 children live in this caravan. While I was there, an inspector from the Cruelty called. There'd been complaints from the neighbours, he said, but not about the way the children were living. It was about the chickens. He was from the ISPCA, and the neighbours were worried about the chickens being out all night. And well, they might be. No one could want a chicken to live in these conditions. And no one wants an old-age pensioner to be poor. But what can one do? The pension, the full contributory pension, was raised recently to £2.12 and 6. The non-contributory is still £2.7 and 6. To cover all the necessities of life. And amusement, if there's anything left over. Fortunately, the very old are easily amused. We could do something, of course. We could give them more money. We could even double their pension and they still wouldn't be rich. But how much would that cost us? £10 million a year or thereabouts. Say, £10 a head per year for every wage earner in the country, or 4 shillings per week, less than the price of 20 cigarettes.
I do think that people, sort of the middle-class people who are trying to buy a house and educate their children and run a car, and I think these are the people who are really finding it very hard to live.
How well off are the middle classes? Let's take a clerk in a semi-state body, 33 years old, married, 3 children. He'll be getting £17 a week. If he's buying a house or paying rent, that'll cost him on average £4.05 a week. And then hire purchase, bus fares, clothing, light and fuel, union dues, unemployment and personal insurance will come to at least £5.10. After that, there's anything in the way of relaxation. TV, cigarettes, cinema, an odd drink, pocket money. Allow at least £2.10 for all that. This already adds up to £12.05. Without talking about doctors or education, that leaves his wife £4.15 a week to feed the family. There are 3 children, so there'll also be a children's allowance of about 8 shillings per week. Suppose that 8 shilling covers all the soap, toothpaste, cleaning materials and small emergencies. And suppose she's a genius at budgeting and knows the food value of everything she buys. She's still left with a maximum of 2 and 8pence halfpenny per day per head to cover 3 meals. 2 shillings and 8pence halfpenny per day per head. In Mountjoy Prison, it costs more than that to feed a prisoner at contract rates. 2 shillings and 10pence halfpenny to be exact. And this is a middle-class family, supposedly far above the poverty line. And of course, in many ways it is. It's a long way from real poverty, where lack of education means that even the money which is earned is wrongly spent, where poverty is inherited like a disease, and where there is almost no hope that things will ever get better. The very virtues of the poor, their sense of being one huge family of unfortunates, makes it harder for them to break out of the iron circle. The families who live in Keogh Square, once a British Army barracks and now a Dublin Corporation housing estate, earn much less than most people would consider is necessary for bare survival. The Dublin Health Authority calculated that £13.10 a week is the minimum needed for a family with 5 children. The family John O'Donoghue is visiting has twice that number of children and has never had that kind of income, even when the father was working.
I have 11 children. The eldest is 14 and the youngest is 4 weeks. The eldest girl is walking. There's 3 that are missing at the moment, and it's very hard to struggle on the small money I am getting. They barely see meat about twice a week. It would cost about 10 to £15 a week to keep them going, just on food alone.
You don't have that, though. How much do you get?
All I have is £9.2 and 6 from the National Insurance.
You said they have meat twice a week. Do you get much milk for them?
No, they really can't have much milk a week, because I couldn't afford to keep them going in milk. The only time they get milk is when the 6 little ones go to school.
What do you give them for tea?
They don't have anything for tea, just plain tea and bread and butter.
Mr. Carlin, what do you feel is the provider in this house?
Well, I get £9.2 and 6 a week after the insurance.
Out of this £9.2 and 6pence, Mr. Carlin, what do you have to pay?
Well, we have to pay coal for a start, insurance, well, television money, and then we have to keep food. Then if I had anything left, then we have to manage us out for during the week. Well, you might get about Tuesday out of it, and the rest of the week when you have to look on.
You have to look on?
I have to keep on, managing body foibob here and body foibob. Anyway, you can get a lender foibob to keep the family going.
Where do you get a lend of 5 bob?
Well, people around the place, you know, if they have 5 bob, they lend it to you.
And they borrow from you?
Or they borrow from me when I have it.
Yeah.
When I have it. But sometimes I haven't got it to give to them. And the neighbours around here is very good to us.